Today, I want to talk about those moments when your anger gets the best of you as a parent. Now, I've shared with you some ideas and some solutions on how to remove and take the anger out of the equation completely. But let's be honest, we're all human. And we all have those moments when our children have pushed us too far and our temper has gotten the best of us. And we start to raise our voice and we start to yell. We send them to their room, we ground them, we take away their phone, whatever it is. But it's a moment of real conflict with our children. And it's very hard to avoid as a parent. And I will tell you, I've had many of these experiences, both as a child and also as a parent. And even after I learned a lot of the things that we talk about in Joyful Parents, there were still moments when we were pushed too far. And there's one thing that I hated as a child. And it's something that I decided that I never wanted to do as a parent. And it's when my parents said to me, "Because I said so." This phrase would just make my skin crawl. Like when I'd say, "Well, why do I have to do that?" And my parent in anger says, "Because I said so." And I thought, you know what? I have a brain. I have a mind. I can be taught. At least try and explain those things to me. Now, I recognize that most children's brains are not fully developed until they're in their 20s. So a lot of times, even when you do try to explain, they're not going to get it. They want what they want, and unless they get what they want, then they're not going to accept any explanation. But I always felt that there should at least be an attempt at explaining. And so I decided as a parent that I never wanted to be the "because I said so" parent. But there are moments when you're in the heat of battle with your kids and you just need them to get something done, where you're like, "I don't have time to explain this to you. I need you to get it done now. And if you don't get it now, there's going to be severe consequences." Well, why? Well, I don't have time to explain it to you. And so there were times when absolutely I said it. I became my parents and I said, "Because I said so." And it really bothered me inside. And so I always had this desire when I was a kid. I always felt that, even if in that moment my parents had to say, "Because I said so," that if you circled back around when the heat had worn off, that there was still an opportunity to explain. And this was something that my wife and I learned and we took advantage of. And I really believe that this is one of the most important things that we did as a parent. And it's something that has held our family together in a tremendous way. And that is that no matter how heated it got, no matter how frustrated we both were, that I would and my wife would allow for a cooling off period and then go and knock on their door and sit down next to them and tell them that we love them and talk about how, wow, that was pretty heated, and apologize if we yelled or got out of line, but then talked about the reasoning, the what behind the "I said so." And these are memories that I cherish. These are some of the most emotional and loving and moments that brought me together with my children more than so many other experiences that I can describe. when we circled back and we sat down and we said, okay, can I try and explain to you why this is so important? And then you also accept their questions and you have a conversation and you do it without anger. And the goal is to help them understand why you said so, why it is so important. Now, a couple of things happen when you do this. First of all, they know and understand that you love them because you came to find them, you're worried about them, you want them to know that you love them. And if that's all that comes out of it, then that's such a tremendous thing. But the second part is that they understand that you're not trying to just force them without any explanation. You really want them to understand, and you really want to help them grow. And if you do this from a viewpoint of being a cheerleader or an advocate instead of an adversary, then first of all, you might find out some things that you didn't know, because oftentimes our children are not forthright with us. And the real reason they're saying no, they don't want to do something is not told to you. And so when you can circle back and have those conversations, then that can be very, very meaningful. But, even if after that conversation is done, if you haven't come to a conclusion, like if you haven't come to the point where, okay, Dad, I understand why, a lot of times those conversations ended with, well, I still don't quite understand. And I'd be like, one day you will, and let's keep talking about it. And I'm going to give you some leeway here. And next time, let's see if we can handle this a little bit different. And it would end with a hug and I love you. And instead of a conflict turning into something that would separate me from my children more and more, because these conflicts with teenagers happen all the time, that because we always circled back, and I mean always, then they ended up being opportunities to grow closer together. And that is the beauty. That is the magic of no matter how heated it gets, parents take the time, go up, knock on the door, sit down, express your love, let them know, yeah, you shouldn't have been as heated either. Take some accountability, take some responsibility, and then talk about what happened and help them understand the why instead of the because I told you so. I will tell you that one of the side effects of this is that my children are all master communicators. They are all incredible debaters. And I chalk so much of that up to the fact that we never just said, because I told you so. We took the time, we took the effort to have these conversations with our children, to let them ask questions. And once the heat of the moment was gone, then they could challenge us a little bit and say, okay, but really, why is it this? And because we're not butting heads anymore and we're having a conversation, then they can articulate their point of view and we can articulate theirs. So my kids, you want to get in an argument with my children nowadays, you better be ready. You better be prepared, because they know how to have these discussions, because we've been having them for years and they have never just been told because I told you so. So this is one of the ideas that I share in my book and online course, Joyful Parents. I hope you'll check it out at jaymcfarland.com. But even if that's something that you can't do or can't afford, stay tuned to this channel. We're going to share a lot of those thoughts and concepts here. Please be sure and subscribe. Hit that bell so that you're notified when a new video comes out. We share new videos once a week. And we're also going to be making videos based upon your comments. Tell me where you think I'm right. Tell me where you think I'm wrong. I love it. I look forward to it. And remember, my goal is to make parenting a joyful process for you, not a hard, difficult, and terrible and angry process.